is Jets at Noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
I guess when you put it that way, it's nice to get the monkey off your back. I felt like I had a few chances to score too, so hopefully you find a way to get that first goal here soon too. And I think ultimately you just concentrate on making plays, getting around the net, being more confident when the puck comes to you in those dangerous areas. And it's a numbers game. You just got to keep creating and you'll find ways to find the back of the net.
I kind of feel bad for a little bit for Jonathan Toews because he's a major story around the entire National Hockey League. So everywhere he goes, every stop he's going to take, if he's being trotted out in front of the media at some point, he's going to get, how you feeling? How you doing?
Yeah.
And that's just, that's just part and parcel with being a star in this league.
Yeah, for sure.
And coming back and all this. But he was getting a little bit of that again in the Islanders after the game when he was speaking. There's him talking about getting his first point as a Winnipeg Jet, got an assist during the 5-2 win over the New York Islanders. But I was just like, and he's handling it very well because he's a veteran, he's a pro, and all that sort of stuff. But he must be, because he was tired of answering it by the end of training camp here. Now he's got to go around every market in the entire NHL, and he's got to say the same thing.
Well, he's a story, right? You know who's loving it is the Connor Hellebuycks, the Mark Scheifele's, the Kyle Connors of the world.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Morrissey's. Can we talk to Jonathan Toews?
Wasn't it a
Sure.
Yeah.
See you, Johnny.
He was afraid it was going to be a distraction. He's actually helping them all out by taking things over. Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line to win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method. 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program, which is coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. Mike McIntyre from the Free Press Jets beat writer is going to be joining us at 12:30 talking about the Winnipeg Jets and a win-win weekend. Jim Toth, what'd you think of the two games that the Winnipeg Jets were able to pull out 2 points in?
I thought it was good. The one that stands out to me is the LA Kings game.
Yes.
I've said this going into the season. I think this is ominous, missing these three key players, and even more now, Hayden Fleury. That's what I meant about ominous. Like, you have these three key guys. Now, you might not say they're not Scheifele or Hellebuyck or Morrissey or Connor. I get that. But in your next tier, these are three very important guys to the success of this team. So with no Sandberg, Lowry, and Perfetti, I thought, like, if they were healthy, I'd be like, they could be 4-0. And if they were 2-2, I'm like, they should probably be 4-0, but they're not, right? Mm-hmm. And so then I kind of look at that Kings game where Christian O'Malley did a great job on the pregame show where he's like, we're talking about the 12:30 game for the Jets. It's 10:30 a.m. for the Kings when that puck drops.
Yeah.
Like, it's a morning skate time for them. And I thought they played like that in the first, and they got their game around in the second. And so to me, of the three games so far, the one I read the most into is the LA Kings one in the third period. Tied 2-2. They go into the third. They took some penalties and all that stuff, but they earned that win. And it reminded me that this is still, even with injuries, a very, very good team. But in my mind, the first 2 months of this season is them treading water. And to me, if they can win in Philadelphia on Thursday and start the season 3-1, then that's good. That's a great start. Mm-hmm. I don't expect them with these injuries to not have some games get away from them like the Dallas one.
So the game against LA was two things. It was their stars stepping up. It was Mark Scheifele and it was Connor Hellebuyck.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned, those are the two guys who factored in the most in that win for the Winnipeg Jets.
And they
the penalty kill, I don't want to take anything away from the penalty kill unit, and a big goal by Scheifele, a couple of big goals by Scheifele to find a way to scratch out that win. Big win against the LA Kings, a fair point and all that stuff. But hey, the Jets don't make the schedule. You just got to deal with what you're dealing with. Second game, depth comes through.
Yes.
Nino Niederreiter, Logan Stanley, Tanner Pearson, Morgan Barron all pick up a goal and an assist in that game. Koepke gets his first assist. Jonathan Toews gets his first assist. Gustav Nyquist gets his first assist. Eric Comrie gets 33 saves and was rock solid, particularly in the beginning of that game when the Islanders had some real great looks in the first 5 minutes of that game. Now, I have to preface all that with, I don't think the Islanders are a very good team whatsoever.
No.
But the depth came through. And the question is, Jim, can the secondary scoring continue? Because I still believe, despite one really, really great game where they were able to find the net and combined to find the net throughout the entire game and were able to provide that offense, I still am a little concerned that it's going to be able to continue. Can it continue, Jim Toth?
Well, look, I don't want to take anything away from this secondary scoring because I think it's imperative, in my opinion, tread water for the next 6 weeks to 2 months till they get healthy again. But the Islanders are awful. And I think that, that's when you need your secondary scoring to come through. Do you need secondary scoring against Dallas? Yeah, you do, right? Like you could have used some. Do you need some going forward against the really good teams? Yes, you do. But when you have a bad team that's not deep at all, like the Islanders, your secondary scoring should come through. Those guys like Pearson and Niederreiter, who have that much experience, should play better than the Islanders' third and fourth line, because the Islanders' third and fourth line wouldn't be on this Jets team. So that's when they should come through. So I'm really happy that they did come through. I don't want to take anything away from them either. They played great, but they were the difference. But in a game like that, they should be the difference. And same for the Flyers game, right? Like the Flyers have a good top two lines, but after that, the depth should come through, and then you hope your big guns. But when you're playing non-playoff contending teams, in my opinion, your depth should come to the forefront. Mm-hmm. They should get more ice time because it's 5-2. They should be in more advantageous situations. And every team in the National Hockey League has a line or two, usually two. Mm-hmm. Every team has a top six. Not every team has a bottom six. And that's teams that don't, your secondary scoring should come through. And then I still thought, I don't know, we did this last year too, but Scheifele's a beast. We talk about Kyle Connor all the time because he's an elite goal scorer and stuff. Mark Scheifele is probably underrated. And for everybody who goes, he's not a top 10 center in this league, I think you need to reevaluate that. And I think you need to reevaluate it given the past 2 to 3 years where his defensive game has rounded out. He is. I'm not going to say he's a top 5 center in this league, but he's not far off. He's like most rankings, Hockey News and that have him 8th or 9th.
I'm not going to sit here and say that Mark Scheifele has not always been, or at least, been a big leader on this team. But without, Adam Lowry in there day to day, and when they're back in town, they'll see him. He's going to work out and all that stuff. He stepped up. He stepped up big time. But I don't think if anybody knows anything about Mark Scheifele, I don't think that was ever in question. Toews, 3 games in. Where do we think how do we feel Jonathan Toews is at? Where do we think he's at?
Well, I just think so things are still a little off in my opinion. Like the odd pass that doesn't go, or the odd pass to his stick. In the LA Kings game, I think he was looking at Chibrikov they got called an offside, and he's like, "Where are you going on that?" Like there's still that kind of stuff. But he's still elite. Like his mind is unbelievable. He can read plays. The face-off circle is effortless.
Well, here last 2 games, right? So the first one he was
so good in the face-off circle, and it's so effortless. It looks like he's not even trying.
So the first game he was below 50%, right? First game back, all this stuff. The last 2 games, I guess a great face-off team like the LA Kings, by the way. I'll say that 61.1%, and then yesterday 75% in the dot.
Yeah,
yeah.
And against a weaker team, I just said that. But
Robert texts the show, says, I was blown away by the face-off wins. That one from Robert, yeah.
And effortless. And he was still, the Kings game, what was going on in the face-off circle in the Kings game, I have no idea. It was like I wanted to yell, it's not a magic show. Drop the puck. It's not a trick. But I don't know if they're trying to enforce more things. But here's the one thing. So every time somebody else, like Scheifele was in the face-off dot, and the ref would move your feet back or skates or whatever, they would look and do it. Nemestikov this. Toews wouldn't budge. Did you notice that? Toews would get in there, and the back ref or line would blow the whistle and say something, and Toews would just drop the puck. That's Jonathan Toews, right?
Yeah.
But every other player's like, what are you talking about? Let's just go here. And he gave it to the ref a couple of times. But yeah, so I look, the start is what I expected. He's got 1 point in 3 games. I think the points will come more often than that throughout this season as he gets more comfortable. But it's probably on the trajectory that I thought it would be.
Yeah, around 35, 45 points, something around that. I think about 40 points, something like that. Nathan texts the show. He says, Islanders aren't that bad, just can't handle high-end sniper like Stanley. Yeah, that was, you'll take any that you can get, but that...
So listen to me now. Logan Stanley against the Kings was absolutely amazing. And I know it's not going to last because I'm well aware, more so than everybody else, that he's inconsistent as a player. But that penalty kill in the last 4 minutes, he blocked 3 shots, and then he laid down and blocked a pass going across the crease. One thing I've noticed from him over the first couple of games is that his shot blocking has
I thought it was a big weakness in his game.
Yes, I remember you talking about that.
He did not do a good job getting in front of pucks. He's really improved on that this season.
So,
because he knew that was, listen, if he was going to keep a role on this team, he was going to have to kill lots of penalties, and he was going to have to block shots. That's how he was going to stay in the National Hockey League. And that's why the Winnipeg Jets chose him over Ville Heinola.
So his first game was rough against Dallas. I saw him make a couple nice plays, but I saw him make a couple glaring errors.
Look at the ice time that he played.
He came up.
That's all you need to see.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
He came out of his own end, made a nice move, got to his blue line, and then tried to pass to somebody at the other blue line and hit him in the skates as opposed to the stick, and it came back the other way. And I'm like, and then he made a couple other things. And then he was better against the Kings. If he plays so, to all the critics, what he did against the Kings is what he is. And if he can do that, he'll be really good for this team. The problem is the inconsistency in it. And that's just one game from Dallas, right? He's a player that I can understand why they played him a ton last year, because they want to play him. He's missed so much and see what he is.
Yeah.
Do I think he's in this lineup forever? No. We talked about it last week. Do I think him and Shen should be a pairing? No. I think it should be one or the other. But the game against the Kings and then the game against the Islanders, he was really good.
Yeah.
And when I say really good, I don't mean Josh Morrissey really good. There's a difference. They're not the same player.
Yeah, you can't expect that.
He's to be physical. He needs to be in position. He needs to make a good first pass. When he makes that good first pass, he's on. And when he doesn't and puts it in skates, it haunts the team. But against the Kings, they gave him a jacket after that game. It was him and Scheifele, I believe, that got the jackets because he helped save that game.
204-780-6868, 204-780-6868. Mike McIntyre from the Free Press, the Jets beat writer, is going to be joining us after 12:30. I want to talk to him about special teams. I want to talk to him about Mark Scheifele, Jonathan Toews, and Eric Comrie. I asked him the question, would you play him 25+ if he's going to play like that? It's going to be tough not to. Let's on the other side, hey, the Sabres. Tage Thompson.
Can we run that?
I'll run this clip when we come back. You got to hear it.
Jim Toews on 680 CJOB.
Can't keep looking back. Next game. Can't keep looking back. The last 3 games, the last 4 seasons, the last 14 seasons, whatever you want to do. We just got to keep our sights set on what's next. And for us, that's Ottawa. And we have a day tomorrow to come in and get better as a group and work on things and move forward. What's done is done. So I'm tired of talking about the past and tired of talking about, we're in 3 games. So I'll take some questions on Wednesday if you got them.
Sabres are 0-3 and have scored 2 goals so far this season. We have a long season to go. Thompson adds, you guys are acting like the world is ending right now.
Okay, here's a question about Wednesday. How do you feel you can beat the Senators after the way you played yesterday? Not to go into the past.
Yeah.
Look, I get this, and I'm not trying to poke the bear in Tage Thompson. I can't imagine if you've been there for that long how frustrating this is. But have you seen any improvement?
I haven't.
There is an ad out now that they say, who's your biggest rival during media day? And all the players go, I think this team, I think that, or the friendliest. Who's your friendliest rival? And they get to Jack Eichel and he goes, Buffalo. Can't thank him enough or something like that. And I'm just like,
what a mistake.
Those players that are there.
Call the Boston Pizza Jets at noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Boston Pizza, come in for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15 only at BP. Mike McIntyre with us when we come back.
And Jim Toews on 680 CJOB.
They came out really strong, and he was the one that kind of kept us in it. Fortunately, we were able to respond for him.
Jets at noon brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line. Wins a VIP car wash from my good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce a winner later in the program, which is coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. Eric Comrie, 33 saves, rock solid against the New York Islanders.
Comrie played well. I think we should start him.
The potent New York Islanders attack?
Let's start him. He should start in Philly. Till he loses.
Listen, old school hockey, baby. You roll with who won.
Start him, you cowards.
You play Comrie until He loses, and then you switch to Connor Hellebuyck. That's how this works, right?
The term "you cowards" after something is the funniest thing I've ever heard. along with "come at me, bro."
Comrie played fantastic.
Come at me, bro.
Mike McIntyre, Winnipeg Jets beat writer with the Free Press, joining us. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Mike, come at me, bro.
Good to join you, cowards.
You cowards.
So, I mean, what excuse is there going to be provided that Eric Comrie, if he plays like that after one start, he doesn't play 25 plus this year?
Well, I think the fact, guys, that he started game 3 of the season, a start that, quite frankly, I was a little surprised he got. I just assumed Connor Hellebuyck was going in. But the fact that he's now played game 3 would almost suggest that is the plan. You know, if he's going to play every third game, that would equate to just north of 25 starts. And for Connor Hellebuyck, that would keep him in the low 50s, which, you know, I think is kind of the idea here. Now, obviously, things will be dependent on performance and where they are in the standings. But if Eric Comrie is going to play like that, there's absolutely no concern, I think, about giving him 25 games this season. And, you know, I think we'll see how these next few games play out. But I would expect Connor Hellebuyck goes Thursday. He probably gets the net Saturday as well. And then does Eric Comrie make his second start next Monday in Calgary? That wouldn't surprise me. And that would kind of keep him on the, 2 for Hellebuyck, 1 for Comrie rotation that we might see here.
Yeah, and Mike, I'm with you on this because of the Olympics, right? And I think that the other reason for this is age of Connor Hellebuyck, but the final reason is he doesn't want another Jennings, he doesn't want another Vezina, he doesn't want more stats. He wants a Stanley Cup, and I would think that, and you're around him, weekly. I would think that would become the focus. I'm saying it would be an easier conversation than maybe 3 years ago with Connor Hellebuyck.
I agree, and especially after last season, they win the President's Trophy, they win the Hart, he wins the Jennings, he wins the Vezina. Didn't get the trophy that he really wants, though. And so I think it's an easier sell. And I think as a team, not that the Jets aren't trying to win every single game. Of course they are. But I think they see the bigger picture here more than ever. And they don't need to, they don't need to win another President's Trophy this year. What they really do want to win is the Stanley Cup. And, I think you just look at how Florida and Edmonton handled the regular season last year, where both teams, they finished third in their respective divisions. And then when the playoffs came, they flexed their muscles the way they can. And for a second straight year, they met in the Stanley Cup final. So I think, that's kind of the mindset of the Jets, that even if it means a little bit of a step back in terms of regular season performance, if they don't go all in on Hellebuyck all the time, maybe it means a couple less wins in the big picture. But that's not the end of the world, because it's the wins in April, May, and June, which they're really looking to.
The penalty kill, 93.3%, which is, let's be honest, Mike, it's kept them in some games here and probably won them, at least one of the two that they've won. The other, 18.2% on the power play. We'll talk about the PK they'll talk about special teams. How do you feel the team has been killing penalties? And then looking at the power play, I mean, it's below 20% now, but how do you is it generating enough good looks?
There was so much focus on what the penalty kill was going to look like without Adam Lowry and Dylan Samberg, two huge pieces of it. Your best shutdown center, your best shutdown offensive. But my goodness, guys, has it ever looked terrific? And the one goal they've given up was basically on a 5-on-2, because it was a 5-on-3, and yes, I think the one penalty had just ended, but I forget who it was in the box, wasn't even in the play yet, and Josh Morrissey had lost or broken his stick, and so Dallas got a few whacks at that, but other than that, it's been perfect. And in fact, the Jets now, through 3 games, they are continuing to outscore their opponents when they're shorthanded. They have the couple shorthanded goals in game 1 on the same penalty, but They almost had a third one in the game against the Kings. The penalty had just expired when Mark Scheifele scored off the rush with Morgan Barron. And, speaking of Morgan Barron, like that, this is where he's really shining. His speed, his reads have been terrific, but I think that extends to the whole team. And, I've loved the fact that they are like deploying Kyle Connor on the regular on the penalty kill. Mark Scheifele's now taken shifts on the penalty kill. I saw Gabe Vilardi out there yesterday. Like Scott Arniel is entrusting, his best players, his highest paid players with some additional responsibility. And yeah, I mean, it really has turned into the power kill more than anything, the way that they have dominated at times.
So let's get into Morgan Barron, because to the term of play him, you cowards, we're getting a lot of move him up to the second line, move him up to the, and I get that. But here's my thing. The first line's not changing, nor should it. The second line needs some time to come around. I think if you play Morgan Barron more or move him up more, you take away from what he's doing where he's at, and then you might not have anything there. Well, you hope something works out somewhere else. I get fans' reaction of do this, but what rarely happens with some fans' reactions when they say do this, they don't think of the consequences of where he's at. And I think moving him out of where he's at would cause that success to go away while you hope for something else. In my mind, I'd leave him there, let him hopefully continue to be as successful as he has been, and let the second line come around.
He's excelling. Leave him where he is. That's what I
agree.
think.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I said the same thing to a few people yesterday. Look, having a really good fourth line is important, especially, Scott Arniel. This isn't the Paul Maurice-led Jets where the fourth line plays 5 minutes. Like Paul Maurice or Scott Arniel is playing his fourth line and
played 15 plus minutes yesterday.
Exactly. And not to mention, again, Morgan Barron's a key part of the penalty kill. Like I would agree, move him up if we were looking at his minutes and he's playing 7 minutes and you're like, but he's all over the place in those 7 minutes. You got to get him. Like, I think they found a sweet spot with him right now. Now, does that mean that at some point he couldn't move up the lineup? Absolutely. I think that's something they could potentially look at. But for now, like that line is going really well. They were terrific yesterday. Unfortunately, Cole Koepke left the game. That was Tanner Pearson's best game. I thought that the chemistry between Barron and Koepke has been really noticeable in preseason and early in the season. So yeah, I mean, you've got a weapon right now in a guy that's going really well and a fourth line that's going well. Continue to use that and get some mismatches. When the other team throws their fourth line out, and you can dominate them. That being said, yeah, we're seeing Morgan Barron take another big step in his development. The big change this year, of course, is that he's starting the year as a center. He transitioned to that position during the season last year. And, it's creating a really interesting dynamic, isn't it, guys, that if and when, and I say when because the way the injuries happen in the NHL, I mean, the Jets may never be fully healthy at any point this season. Like, they may never have no guys on injured list. But if they were ever to get to that stage, you wonder, they almost have too many centers now because Vlad Nemestikov was the second line center. We know last year, Jonathan Toews, Adam Lowry, Mark Scheifele. Where does Morgan Barron fit in? And do they keep him at center and move Vlad Nemestikov to the wing? Is it Barron who moves to the wing, but that might allow him to move way up in the lineup if they wanted to? Some interesting decisions that, again, may never happen. The injury bug may keep biting here. The bottom line is Morgan Barron has taken a really big step, and it's a really good development for the Jets.
Mike McIntyre, Jets beat writer with the Free Press, joining us. Hey, Mike, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Bet,
Take care.
Have a great week.
Thanks,
yeah, you
Mike.
too. Yeah, 204-780-6868.
Thanks for coming at us, bro.
204-780-6868. Miss your chance. Get your thoughts on the show today. Call the Boston Pizza Jets at noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Boston Pizza, coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15 only at BP. 204-780-6868. A Gore text shown says, scoring is great defensively. The team needs to be more aggressive. I don't know about that. You think the Jets need to be more aggressive?
How so aggressive?
Yeah, Gord. I'm not.
Send more, Gord. How do you want them to be more aggressive?
Yeah, we'll get to it. If you respond back to us,
I mean,
we'll discuss it. I don't think. Listen, the highlight for me over the weekend was the back half of that game against LA, where the Jets were fantastic.
Yeah.
That third period was great.
That tip by Scheifele is elite as it gets.
Yes.
And I'm not like Morrissey threw that wide where only he could get it. It wasn't going to be on net at all.
So,
and to hand-eye that into the net is elite. But I just think the forecheck is part of this system, and they defend first, and then they get in on the forecheck and get up the ice, and they don't allow a lot of stuff on the rush. I don't.
Yeah,
I think
they got ahead against the Islanders.
Their system for the personnel they have is perfect.
Yeah, I agree. And
that's how they finished first last year, and how they finished fourth overall the year before.
You know what I'm seeing too? I'm seeing them pick their spots.
And when they don't
just to be aggressive is not a good strategy.
Yeah, to the Dallas side of it,
it'll be turned against you very easily.
Here's when they were aggressive. Too aggressive is when Paul Maurice, after years of being at practice, watching him preach defense and back checking and all this, would just throw up his hands by February and go, "We got to outscore everybody." Because that's all I was there, right? Like he's like. Everything that Bonus and Arneal have them doing defensively, Maurice would, but at some point he would just they're too young. Let's just try and score. Blah, blah, blah. That's aggressive to me. I think their system is perfect. And when they struggle is when they don't execute their system like they did against Dallas.
204-780-6860. Then they get caught. All of a sudden they give up the middle of the ice.
Or another good team comes in and realizes that's their system and tries to get them off it.
Nashville Predators, Jim Toews.
How are they doing? Are things better?
Wow. Why don't we take a look when we come back?
Are things better this year?
And we also give away that VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method.
Wash Method.
CJOB.
I love most of our game. The second period probably wasn't perfect for us. Juice was amazing, like he has been all year.
That was Andrew Brunette, the head coach of the Nashville Predators. They've had a good start. They just had a 4-1 win over the Senators. UC Soros, his first game, 3 games in net, 88 saves, 93 shots, 9.45 save percentage, 4 goals against, 1.66 goals against average, 2-0-1 for the Nashville Preds. So, there you go, Jim Toth. Are they going to be a problem? Because, honestly, they could not be as bad as they were last year. That roster is way too talented. I thought for sure there'd be some level of resurgence. And again, it's early, but
yeah,
I don't necessarily think it would be a surprise if they did well.
You nailed it in the preseason. There's no way they'll be as bad as they were last year.
No.
There's too much experience, cup winners, what it takes, all that kind of cliches. And maybe there's a better understanding of the system. We talk about the Jets bringing in 5 new players and trying to get them acclimatized to what they're doing. Maybe they were going through that last year and stuff, but I would think there was some soul searching and stuff. Now, that being said, though, Cam, I don't think they're world beaters like we all thought they were going to be last year. And not just because they didn't have success last year, but I don't think they're I don't know. I have to see them play this year and probably more than once, but I don't think they're a Stanley Cup contending team. I think they're a playoff team.
Yeah.
But if you ask me who they're going to take out in the West, until I see them play, and even then, I still don't think they're as good as Dallas, Winnipeg,
are they
Colorado.
Like a playoff team, but are they like a bubble team?
Could they beat the Kings?
I don't know. Like the Blues.
Could they beat the Oilers?
The Blues, they've had some. They played pretty well. The Wild are not in a playoff spot right now. 3 games in. I mean,
so that to me, that's the best case scenario for them. They're the Wild, they're the Blues, they're the Kings. I think the Kings are better than the Wild and the Blues, but they're the Wild and the Blues in my mind. They're a playoff team, but if they make the playoffs, would it surprise me? No. Do I think they could have a chance at the Cup? No, I don't think they could. But I have to see them play this year. But based on their personnel, their age, what I saw last year. And again, I haven't seen them in the first 3 games here where they're 2-0-1. But hey, they got 5 points in 3 games, and they wouldn't be as bad as last year.
No, that's for sure. Let's give away that VIP car wash from the VIP texter. This one, 204-780-6868. This one comes from Sandra, who says, along with his face-off wins, it's the work ethic Toews shows every shift. like he's dragging those guys along with him. You're not going to be coasting when you're out there with him. Well, that's for sure. I mean, he's a hard worker.
Yeah. He back checks well. And that's saying something when he's not, the fastest skater.
Yeah.
But athletes like him and he as a hockey player is wired differently. Like it's all go all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, I come over the boards, I'll read this play or that play. It's just go, 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 right? Like he just reads things. It's just natural. It's a natural ability to him. Where I think other players have skill and talent. They learn things like that Jonathan just naturally does.
Yeah.
And you can see that in his game. And that's why he's made it this far when he's not the fastest skater or he's not a point per game player. He just has this natural instinct around if there was a guy born to play it, like we can say that about Kucherov or McKinnon or McDavid, but if there's a guy that doesn't have their talent and skill that was born to play the game, it's Jonathan Toews because he just understands it so well.
Yeah, no doubt about that. This one from Todd, who says, we have a great team, but for a defense-first team mentality, I'm worried about giving up 30 shots per game. Yeah, that's too many. 25 is where the Jets want to be around that number. 25 is exactly where they want to be around. So, but listen, they want to. Listen, I don't know about the Flyers. I know they just beat Florida. Florida's, that's not the team that won the Stanley Cup. They've had serious injuries. So we'll wait and see. But Jim Toews, take you all the way till 2 o'clock. Thank you very much to Braden Owasco for producing the show. That's it for me. Be back same time tomorrow. See ya.
Listen to this tune. They're off today in New York.
Yeah.
No, Philly, sorry.
Philly.
Close.
You know what they're doing? They're at that intersection where they're trying both of those. It's like fruit. Do you know there's fruit flies in here?
I have a guest. Poulins is coming on my show in the next hour to talk fruit flies. They're everywhere.
They're all over this office.
I swallowed one. I took a drink of coffee, and I think I swallowed. Can you die from swallowing a fruit fly?
I don't know. I don't know why this office has fruit flies. It's driving me crazy.
If I'm not here tomorrow, I love you, man. It's been a good run.